fucking Christ! Whoa, whoa, whoa! You can wait a second.
I saw her dancing kicking sand down the shore. Around the fire, eyes aglow. Watch it all go up in smoke.
As a woman cyclist, the main challenge is really just that we're such a minority. That can be intimidating. When I first started cycling, I would just try to find a good fit for, I don't know, feeling comfortable, especially as an early cyclist. And I had some moments of like questioning, like, oh, is this for me? I love biking and just like zoning out, but there's definitely like some times where I feel like I have to be super alert. I also think that like cars, not that they get more mad at you for being a woman, but like you just have to be like that much more serious when a car almost hits you and like you have to like have that interaction.
I'm a bike courier in Denver. Aggressive drivers are a very real part of being a cyclist, especially obviously on city streets where there's no bike infrastructure. Been hit by countless cars riding on the street, both on and off the job. I've had things thrown at me. I get yelled at all the time. People drive too close to you on purpose. Someone intentionally hit me with their car. Fucking wild. Bombing down Downing and looked over and there was a car just like, what? Like coming into my lane, like eye contact with me. I was like, that was not cool.
When I tell my coworkers I'm going to commute to work on my bike and they're just like, why would you do that? Like, it's so dangerous. It's never a celebration. Something about being on a bike, you feel free. You are free. And biking is, I like to think of it kind of like as an anarchist way of moving through the world. If you picture you have a car, you're in the system, so to speak. Whereas cycling, it's a very like autonomous, almost like ghostly way of being. So Fems and Thems is a group for female and non-binary folks, a place to experience joy, be outside, to learn about new paths, and to meet people who, at a baseline, we have shared value of riding bikes, and then from there, probably have other shared values, to be honest, which includes, minimizing car use and just connecting with oneself and into our communities. Since joining and leading with Fems and Thems, there has been this extra level of just empowerment and encouragement to sort of take biking into other avenues and ways of being. And since then, I have tried bike packing for the first time. I mean, I rode a bike for 10 years and it wasn't until riding with Fems and Thems that I'm like, we got this, and I got this, and we all got this.
What do you think of these conditions?
I live for this. I think it's so interesting how many different people and like different walks of life come to this group. And like I've personally like met so many people who like I never would have met.
Fems and Thems was the first space I spent any time in where I felt unquestionably accepted as a woman, which is about as empowering as it gets. I know I'm always gonna have friends there, but yeah, above all, it's a safe space in a world where the amount of safe spaces are dwindling.
So my friend, I won't name her, but my friend, I brought her on a group ride. And so we're like a mile from where we usually start our rides. And we go under this like really dark tunnel. And it's just like kind of a shitty tunnel. Like you are going around this sharp corner and you have to go really fast because then you have to get up this hill, but it's dark under there. There was like 18 of us in front of her. And then you're like trying to like rush to get up this hill. And I heard screaming and I thought it was like such a tight corner that like someone must have fell. Like that's automatically where my mind went. And so I get to the top of the hill and I look back and there's more screaming. And my friend, this man, he was like standing in the darkness of the tunnel and I think he like saw her towards the back, got in front of her and reached out and choked her. And it's just so disheartening because you can do everything right. Like you can ride with a group of experienced bikers, 20 of us, And still these things happen. In talks with my friend, she's like, are you going to invite me back? And I was like, yes. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. What we can learn from these situations is that, like, I don't know, I think it's horrible and awful what happened, but I don't think that's a reason to not bike. I think it's a reason to continue to bike together.
A century is riding 100 miles in one go.
It sounds like a lot. It sounds really intimidating. I used to think the same thing. And so what's cool about Fems and Thems centuries is that I did a century not even knowing I was going to do it. It's crazy. It's very accessible, and it's a DIY century, more or less. The leaders are planning these routes, and anybody can show up, and there's no commitment. It points of, easy access to dip out if 30 or 40 miles is all that you can do. And I showed up to the first century thinking that same thing. I had a single speed bike. I had no training. I had been riding with Fems and Thems only a couple months. And I think the farthest I'd ever ridden my bike was like 28 miles. And I'm like, well, I love these folks. The vibe of the day, like the community, the support, the adrenaline, the friendships. This hike was so high that I just couldn't stop. It was almost like training as you go. Like, it actually got easier.
You get there at 6, 7 in the morning.
It's mile 0. I feel unprepared and delusional.
Feeling hopeful and nervous.
A little cold, but excited.
Feeling good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Confident. All right. I love it.
You see 30 people. Like, you're not alone. It's not like you're like, oh, I have to do this all alone. Like, you see 20 to 30 people, and there's this energy about it to know we're all going to do this and we're all going to finish it together.
I think the accessibility and the DIY feel to these centuries really just makes it feel like anybody can do it. And, you're filling up your water bottles at 7-Eleven, soda fountain station, and, getting the little corn dog rollers to go.
Been thinking about a hot dog since mile 25.
We got the 3 keys here: pickles, Pedialyte, and PBR.
Nice.
Oh man, they're a lot of fun. Highly recommend, even if you don't think you can.
Music's bumping, lots of snack breaks, really encouraging environment. Seems like every century y'all have done, there have been several people that have never ridden a century before, many that have never ridden their bike more than 20 miles before, and they all complete it. So there's a really strong group support system.
I think being a part of this community has empowered me as a cyclist by just showing me that I can do hard things and I can enjoy it.
There is something truly empowering about doing a ride that's longer than you've ever done, or doing a grocery run that you weren't expecting to be able to do on a bike. One thing I forever get joy in is when we had days like yesterday where there's a foot of snow on the ground, is biking past, the bumper to bumper traffic. That feels very liberating, just not being stuck in a car. And realizing your bike can take you anywhere. If you set yourself up for success, you don't really need a car.
So much more joy just being on a bike. Even mundane activities like I gotta go to work or go to the bank or the grocery store and run errands, it never feels tedious. It feels like, ooh, there's that little giddy excitement of, well, I'm gonna ride my bike and I'm going for a bike ride.
In a society where we're always hustling to the next thing and trying to get somewhere the fastest way or the most efficient way, it feels like a little delight, something a little selfish to take your time getting there.
My favorite thing about biking is getting somewhere super fast and feeling wow, that would have been a whole hassle in a car.
A bike is it's like a really good friend. And, I don't mean to assign inanimate objects these human qualities, but in a way, a bike is it's there for you. I trust the old picks. She's real weathered and tried and true. It's like a hug, it lifts your spirit. It's a way to be in community or even just to be closer to yourself.
I get it. I get what they say about movement being a release of emotions and anxiety and things like that.
Cycling is a lot of things for me. Really like that it's something that I can do by myself or with other people. And it really allows me as a trans person to connect with my body in ways that I found really difficult to do so in the past. I really, really find a lot of freedom and joy in self-reliance in riding my bike.
My daily commute, I bike to work. It's only a mile. It's very close, but there's this one particular hill, and it's a very small hill. You wouldn't notice it in a car, but when I'm rolling down the hill and the light turns green, as I'm rolling, I can get that sharp left turn, and I always try to get a little extra speed, and it's really exhilarating. And if I were just driving to work, you don't notice little things like the slight angles of the road or any of that, but for some reason that turn brings me daily joy.